On the far outer edge in Canada lies the island of Newfoundland, whose chief city, St. John's, was founded in 1528, making it one of the oldest cities in all of North America.
It is old, yes. There's a lot of old buildings. One time it was nothing, just an old wooden wharf. So you go in, you get your boat beat up. But they've got it pretty cleared up now. It's nice. A lot of Americans. Coast Guard this morning. Just one ship, she's a warship. They come here from all over the world, you name it, and they're here. Oh, the Portuguese are very quiet. Spanish. And the English are the worst. The English ships are the worst for fighting. As soon as they come in, there's a bunch of them in jail all the time. As soon as they get off their ships, sir, they go and they get drunk and they go and beat up everything. I'm a Canadian. But I'm still a Newfoundlander. Oh, I'll always be a Newfoundlander. It will never change that.
On the other side of the continent, 5.5 time zones away, is another Canadian seaport, the young, bustling, sprawling city of Vancouver, the city of mountains, trees, and tourists.
My work is showing Vancouver to all kinds of people, local and tourists, and helping them to know it better. Vancouver developed as a great port because of the Canadian Pacific Railway. And if it hadn't come to Vancouver, it probably just would have been a suburb of some other city. The harbor is very important to the city. It actually is, I think, about 17 miles long from Stanley Park to Port Moody, and the entire waterfront is a port area, waterfront docking facilities. I think it's the second largest port as far as volume. Canada's port for the Pacific trade, which is increasing all the time.
Vancouver was born just over a century ago. It thrived on gold rushes, fish, the rich timber trade, and a burgeoning volume of seagoing freight. Now it's the third largest city in Canada, but its people retain a strong awareness of their pioneering past.
This bricked-in area is called Maple Tree Square, and it's called that for a very logical reason. In the old days, there was a large maple tree which stood right over there. The statue on this side is the statue of Gassy Jack Dayton. He arrived back in about 1867, and Gassy Jack was the first resident of Vancouver, and that's why this area is called Gastown. It was originally called Gassy Jackstown.
I never realized they called this sacred ground. My sense of time, a hell of a week behind.
One of the special things about Vancouver is its oasis of primeval forest, right in the middle of town.
Stanley Park's very interesting. It's the largest civic park in the world, which sounds like a tourist plug, but it has an interesting history. The first motion of the first city council in Vancouver was to ask the federal government to set that aside as a park, which was quite remarkable, seeing it was about a mile or two out of town. Everywhere you went for just hundreds and hundreds of miles was forested, and for it to be set aside as a park, I think it was quite remarkable. And it's the thing that makes Vancouver totally livable. The West End, by the way, was purchased at one time by 3 men called the Three Greenhorns. People thought they were rank amateurs, foolish men, because they bought the area for $1 an acre. They paid $550 for this whole area. It's now valued at $1.5 billion.
And that's a lot of money. But to most of its citizens, Vancouver is a jewel beyond price.
Most Vancouverites are actually very smug about their city. They don't really give much of a damn about the rest of Canada. We have a very beautiful city and a very prosperous province, but we're an entity unto ourselves. We're different from the prairies, and we're 3,000 miles from Toronto and about 4,000 or 4,500 miles from Halifax.
People are different in different parts of Canada, not surprising in such a large country. But there's also another factor. 1/3 of all Canadians are French Canadians. The largely French province of Quebec is twice as large as all of France. Quebec's principal city is Montreal, which is also Canada's largest metropolis. Montreal is, outside of Paris, the largest French-speaking city in the world. Again, its people, especially its cab drivers, are enormously proud of it.
Montreal is first, it's metropole of Canada, and it's a big city, it's a great city. And I live here, I'm born here, so that means I live in Montreal since 25 years. And I'm a taxi driver, so I have to cruise all around, and I think I know Montreal very well.
Montreal, being large and prosperous and old and French, has a flavor all of its own. But like the rest of Canada, Montreal's flavor has a strong taste of American influence.
(1642), it was only forest, and in that time they used to call it Ville-Marie. And they changed it after. They changed it because the mountain on the top is Mont-Royal, so they make Montreal with it. You see, it's a kind of slang. It's a very big harbor, and it starts from McGill Street there's about at least 15 miles of port. They have to build the port because it's not big enough. They built it and they built it, and they want to build it to Quebec now. The Dorchester Boulevard, it's a marvelous street, it's fantastic. It's wide and it's clean, and there are always a lot of people, and there's always a lot of traffic.
Montreal's population is roughly 30% English and 70% French. Usually, if not always, there is détente between the two groups. Montreal is an old city, a city of character, sophistication, and of wealth.
First, there's the Montreal's City Hall. It's an old city hall, but they restore it, you see. And all of these buildings they built about 300 years ago, and it's the way they restore it, you know. They restore it so well. I'm French Canadian, and I'm proud. When I have to speak English, I speak English. And I think that's the only way to live, to respect the people, you see.
Merci beaucoup, bonne chance. Like most Frenchmen, Montrealers love their cafes and restaurants.
The American can take a French fried hot dog and soft drink for dinner, but not the Canadian. See, I think the factor is the weather. If you don't eat a good meal, you're gonna catch a bad cold No, we really take that seriously, and the best proof, I think, if you stop in even at the smallest restaurant, you can have a very good meal. There's a lot of good restaurants. I think the best restaurant in the whole world. Of course, this is Montreal, so.
The St. Lawrence Seaway, one of the world's greatest engineering achievements, takes deep-sea shipping far inland from Montreal to the Great Lakes system, to such ports as Canada's #1 commercial city, Toronto, whose stock exchange is one of the busiest in North America.
I work for a brokerage company which operates through the Toronto Stock Exchange. The exchange is a marketplace where buyers and sellers get together. And when a person's views on the values of the worth of his shares in each company changes, then he can buy or sell. And this is where it's done through. Well, Bay Street, there's all the financial institutions and whatnot, and there's a lot of hustle and bustle. But there are certain sections in the town where life is a little slower and people can do what they want anytime they want. It's just a different pace entirely. That's the telex. That is where the prices of the stocks, the bid and the ask, are quoted. Each company has a symbol. Algoma Steel might be ALG. It just makes it a little simpler. On that, you'll have the bid and the ask, what people are offering to sell their stock for and what people are offering to buy it for. Well, the downtown is something that I've never seen before, being from a small town myself. It just seems never to end. It just keeps sprawling and sprawling. It covers square miles. It's kind of weird seeing that many people all put together. Sometimes when I see the Gardiner Expressway, I'd like to see more of Canada. Out west and out east, I guess there's a contrast there again.
Canada is big. It's the second largest country in the world. Its landscape includes a lonely coastline, almost endless acres of evergreen forest, mile upon rich mile of flat, fertile prairies, and a wide, craggy spine of Rocky Mountains. Just about at the foothills of the Rockies is one of Canada's newest, fastest-growing centers, the city of Calgary.
I'm going to secretarial school at the present, and I go from 8:30 in the morning till around 2:30.
When you're listening to CHQR, you're listening to Calgary.
Well, it's mainly an agricultural center, but it's also the oil and gas capital of Canada. The main offices of most of the oil businesses are here in Calgary. My grandfather was connected with it. He and 5 other men started up a drilling and development firm back in the 20s.
In Calgary, the grain elevators, city parks, skyscrapers, and the stockyards are all neighbors. The urban future and the rural frontier standing side by side.
Yeah, let her go. Where's one? No, that's on the cow.
It's a very relaxed sort of place to live, but it's not dull. There's always something going on, and there are many things that you can take part in. As soon as I'm out of school, I'm off to the country to ride. Well, it is a great feeling of freedom to get on and to take off at a gallop across the countryside. And get on top of a hill and look down on everything, and well, it's great. It's wonderful. The best part of the day.
Canada has modern, thriving cities, but it has something else. Space. Open countryside. Just beyond that last suburb is 1,000,000 miles of wilderness. That's one of the things that makes Canada special.